What's up, YouTube? Shawn DaGamer here, and let's talk about last night's SmackDown Live for January 24th, 2017. Some decent things happened on the show for a go-home show. Way better than Raw. I still don't care what nobody says. That ending segment was not enough for me. It was not enough for me. Like, oh my gosh, it's 3 people that we only see like 3 times a year. Woo, yay. No. We'll get into Royal Rumble predictions later this week, probably either tomorrow or Thursday. No, tomorrow is Thursday or Friday. Definitely before NXT take over San Antonio. But we're here to talk about SmackDown, so let's jump into it. We started the show with a Daniel Bryan Miz segment where the Miz pretty much wanting a Intercontinental Championship rematch tonight, no DQ style, but Daniel Bryan was like, no, because if we give you that match, Maurice will just get involved. But if you want your match, no. Then the Miz was like, look, I'm the reason people's bills are getting paid. I pay everybody bills around here, yada, yada, yada. So Daniel Bryan was like, all right, let's put your employees to use, and we're going to have an Intercontinental Championship Lumberjack match in the main event. First match of the night was Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. They both came out at the same time with the Wyatt family music, which I thought was cool, creepy, and why at the same time. So they did come out as a family, and then once they got into the ring, the ring announcer did the like the championship style promos while they were in the ring, or in ring introductions, I should say. Pretty good match. There was an outside body drop on the announce table from Randy to Luke, and Luke was about to get counted out. They both were hurt somehow, and they were about to get counted out, and Bray threw them both back into the ring to make sure they actually fought it out. The match ended with a Miss Lariat clothesline from Harper into a RKO from Orton. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Bray looked like he was about to go pick up and console Luke, like everything's all right, it's over with, let's get it done. But no, he hit Luke with Sister Abigail. I believe, I can't remember this. I've been trying to remember this night in order, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, because it wasn't that eventful. There was like a cringe Carmella James Ellsworth segment where they were like shopping for his clothes for the Royal Rumble. And I swear for Lord, if James Ellsworth is in this Rumble match, but Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, I'm just mad Seth Rollins is not in the match, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to throw the 2 hands, you know, whatever he says. Woosah. Anyways, there was that. There was a couple of, they highlighted a couple of segments from earlier in the night when, let me get this right, when Natalya attacked Nikki Bella when they were talking to Nikki Bella outside of the production truck, her face and John Cena's face, and she was talking about, look, this is coincidence. We don't ask for this stuff. It just comes. And then Natalya just attacked Nikki Bella, laid her out. And then there was supposed to, well, let me get into this segment. Mickie James obviously made her return, and Renee Young was interviewing her in the ring, so pretty much saying how she's not going to let the women's revolution rewrite what she did in the past, being a 5-time women's champion, divas champion. What she has a valid point, because they are trying to act like, you know, it didn't happen. Like they acknowledge the women, but they don't acknowledge all of the women. They only acknowledge certain people, which is like revisionist history. So I can understand where Mickie James would kind of get mad at that, and I'm glad they're doing that. I wish, like, instead, because they did kind of mention it on Talking Smack a little bit, but they didn't go too in depth on it. I think if Daniel Bryan was there, they would have went a little bit more in depth into it, like her TNA and her work in the indies and things like that. Like, not necessarily like leaving wrestling, but we'll talk about that in a second. But whole point of this segment, Becky Lynch came out to confront Becky Lynch. Mickie James ran out the ring after Becky Lynch started welling on her a little bit. She tried to run over. Mickie James jumped over the barricade, and then when Becky tried to follow her, all you see is little Miss Bliss come out of nowhere and pop her with a good forearm. I was like, oh, That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Even on Talking Smack, like even on Talking Smack, while Shane was looking back at it, like, oh, look at that. Oh, nice, beautiful. I was like, yes, Shane, I love it. So, they start jumping Becky Lynch, and then Mickie James gets on the mic and says, you think you would know by now to be one step ahead of Alexa Bliss or something like that. Decent little promo. Hopefully she gets a little bit more comfortable, a little bit better in her promos. I don't know. It's like I know Mickie James can talk. She's not the best promo, but she can hold her own. And I don't know. Maybe, like I said, being in front of that big of an audience, maybe, TNA crowd sizes aren't that big. So, that's a little bit different. But yeah, maybe it was just a little bit of nerves or something like that. But I do expect her to succeed in this new role. And hopefully we will get maybe like Mickie James versus Becky Lynch for the women's title somehow at WrestleMania. But that did kind of lead into another women's segment on this show. So like two good women segments. They had 3. We're not going to count the Carmella one because that's really here nor there. So you had 2 women's segments that were just really good, and Raw can't get one right. They're talking outside and distracting me. The second one was supposed to be Naomi versus Natalya. I'm like, yes, we're gonna get a really good women's match. We're finally getting Natalya. No, we're finally getting Naomi back on TV. We get Naomi, we get the entrance, and then while Natalya's walking to the ring, she gets blindsided by Nikki Bella. So we don't think we're gonna get a match, and then like Naomi gets the microphone. She's like, nah, it ain't going down like that. I'm calling out an open challenge. I've been gone. I want to wrestle. I'm here to make an impact. Yada yada yada. Line up opportunities, all that good stuff. So a couple of seconds pass, and then Little Miss Bliss once again makes an appearance. I love it. She's like, hold up. Don't get all excited. I'm not challenging you. I want to know, who are you again? Better yet, who do you think you are? You ain't been here for like 4 months trying to demand stuff. I'm the champion. Sit down, relax, and go back to obscurity. So I just love it. It was some back and forth of banter between the two of them for a couple of minutes, and it just sets up a Naomi Alexa Bliss feud in the future. Hopefully sooner than later. They did announce at the Royal Rumble it will be a 6-woman tag match. It's going to be Naomi, Becky Lynch, and Nikki Bella taking on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. So that is really going to be a nice little 6-woman tag match to get them on the card, especially since there is no defined number 1 contender, even though Naomi did try to put herself in that. But I am expecting her to get the win. Maybe it can go either way. I like this 6-woman tag match because you have 6 different feuds in one match. It's just not you literally have like 6 different storylines in this, or 6 different storylines, 3 different storylines in this one match, and it's really, really comes together. So it's not like, what I'm trying to say, it's not like a cruiserweight 6-man tag on Raw where they're all just thrown together so they all can get on TV for a couple of seconds. This actually can have some like interweaving stories. You know what I'm saying? You have the former champion who has been put down by these 2 people. You have a returned superstar, in Nikki Bella, who has just been shunned on and like ran down ever since she got back for her relationships and her opposers on the opposite side. And then you have Naomi bringing herself into the scene, trying to challenge for the women's championship because she has been left off TV, and she feels like if she's given the opportunity, she can become champion. And then you have a returning Mickie James on the other side who needs to look strong in this match as a heel. So it's just a lot of different factors in this one match. And I really, really appreciate that SmackDown took the time to actually do something with their women. Jesus. So, what else happened? Then we had another incredible segment by AJ Styles and John Cena on this show, where AJ came out, acknowledged the whole poster situation where he's in the back and John Cena's in the front. He said John Cena pulled some screens, yada yada yada, and then they went into a Today Show segment with what's her face and Al Roker, where those two and John Cena were doing a little sit down morning interview, and they kept referring to AJ Styles as this guy from Atlanta, which is very disrespectful because first of all, he's from Gainesville, and that is a hour and 15-minute drive from me. I know this because I got my car from there, and I have to go back there sooner or later to get my car back or a new car, one or the other. So I know the difference. Like he even pointed it out on Talking Smack, which we'll talk about later, because Talking Smack is a essential part of SmackDown if you didn't know. So he was just pretty much running down John Cena. He couldn't do this, he couldn't do that, he couldn't make it on any scene. I don't think John Cena couldn't make it on any scene. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where would John Cena fit in on the indie scene? Like, really think about it. Not in Ring of Honor. I don't see a John Cena in Ring of Honor. You can say, I mean, Samoa Joe's different. I can't see John Cena. I'm talking about if John Cena would have started on the indie scene like AJ Styles did, or he didn't really start. You know what I'm trying to say? If John Cena had to make a career on the indie scene, what promotion do you think John Cena could have flourished in? Think about the time you had a young Ring of Honor. Can we count TNA? A young TNA-ish. I guess you can count Dragon Gate, because I don't, Dragon Gate, 2002, 2004. Where would John Cena fit in if he had to start, and would he have made it? But because John Cena, when you look at John Cena, he is a WWE production. Like, there's no way around that. So I don't know. Like, now, of course, if John Cena ever decided like an idiot to leave the WWE, yeah, John Cena can make big money on any scene. But if he had to start his career out on any scene, which company could you see him in? But yeah, John Cena came out and said, yeah, you're not just you're just some guy. You only got the title because I'll let you keep it or something like that. I'm John Cena. That's not a convincing argument, because young AJ Styles done beat you 3 times in a row. The first time, yeah. Oh, wow, was that the middle thing? The first time, yeah. Second time, maybe. Third time, nah, bruh, you can't beat AJ Styles. And knock on wood, you can't beat AJ Styles. So it was just a really good segment. It didn't get physical. It was just, John Cena doing his normal John Cena stuff, AJ Styles being AJ Styles. But it was just those two in the ring on the mic, just really, really, it really tickles my fancy. You know what I'm saying? So really good segment there. I think that was. I talked about the James Ellsworth Carmella segment. That's not worth re-going over. And then I feel, am I missing anything? We talked about Mickie James. We talked about Luke Harper. The Battle Royal, there was a Battle Royal. I don't think I talked about that, just in case I did. I don't know how. I think it was a 20-man Battle Royal, but I don't know if they got 20 extra men on SmackDown. But whoever's left that's not in the Rumble or not involved in something big on SmackDown's in this match. Keynotes, Vaudevillains still got heat. Apparently, they got eliminated super early. Last 3, Mojo and Breezango. Miscommunication by Breezango. Tyler Breeze super kicks. Fandango off the apron, eliminating him, which in turns get him eliminated by Mojo Rawley. So Mojo Rawley is in the Royal Rumble match. So I can deal with that. I can dig that. I'm a supporter of Mojo. I'm not really a fan, but he has potential if done correctly. So I think that was about it. Oh, the Lumberjack match. Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. Of course, all the Lumberjacks got involved at the end. Like a Royal Rumble-esque breakdown. I think the last person standing was Dean Ambrose because the match he did win and retain his IC title. I don't know, I'm just not a fan of Lumberjack matches like that, so I really wasn't too into this. And once you get hit with the Dirty Deeds, it's pretty much lights out because nobody kicks out of the Dirty Deeds. Do your research. So we move on to Talking Smack. Who was the guest on Talking Smack? I know AJ Styles was, and him and Shane always go back and forth. Pretty much, he clarified he's not a guy from Atlanta. He's the guy in the WWE. He's the champion. John Cena's just acting. John Cena know he can't beat him. He's beaten John Cena 3 times in a row. So John Cena's just putting on a good act for the people and pretty much trying to psych himself up for the Royal Rumble match. Who else was on this? Mickie James. Kind of, like I said, I wish they would have expanded on what Mickie James was doing outside of her time, outside of WWE. She did mention like it was never her choice to leave. Like, if you don't know the situation, I don't want to spread false information, but I do know her and John Cena were kind of a thing at one point, like 10 years ago. At this point, it was like 10 years ago, and then something happened. Yada yada yada. Kenny Dykstra. She was dating Kenny Dykstra too, wasn't she? I don't know. A lot of weird stuff happened. A lot of backstage politics got involved, and that's what happened to Mickie James. Then she went to TNA, but I'm pretty sure if Daniel Bryan was there, or when Daniel Bryan returns after taking care of Brie and her little baby issues, and little baby issues. And once they get done taking care of all their baby stuff and things like that, Daniel Bryan will be back. And once those two get one-on-one, I'm pretty sure they will delve into her Indy's career. You know what I'm saying? They'll dive into her Indy career a little bit more. And I kind of wish I wish Daniel was there for this Talking Smack, just because there was a lot of indie wrestling talk. And having Daniel Bryan there to talk to Mickie James and talk to Mojo was the other person. Mojo was just pretty much saying how he's happy to be in the Royal Rumble and how he talked about a couple of weeks ago. Now that Zack Ryder's injured, he's going to have to like switch into a more serious mode and be more serious. And this was the first step to that, him being in the Royal Rumble match. So, like I was saying, Daniel Bryan being there would have gave more of an in-depth conversation to like AJ Styles about, being how hard it is to be working on the indie scene and how hard it is to make it on indie scene, and talking to Mickie James about, pretty much the same thing, like being away from WWE and then having to make a living with her music and also wrestling outside of TNA. And I'm still mad at Mickie James right now because I still have not seen Magnus on my TV screen yet. I haven't seen Magnus on my TV screen in the WWE or WWE Network yet. So Mickie James, you got some work to do. I want Magnus in NXT, please. So that was pretty much it for this week's SmackDowns. Dealings, like I said, a good go home show for SmackDown, better than Raw. NXT tonight. Hopefully this will be the true, depending on, maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm expecting much for this day and age when it comes to go home shows, especially in the WWE. Like I said, this wasn't a bad show at all. It wasn't one of the best SmackDown shows. It wasn't one of the worst SmackDown shows. It was a good show. Enjoyable start to finish, aside from the Ellsworth Carmella segment. But that was only like a 2-3 minute segment fast forward that, and then you will be A-OK. With all that being said, leave your comments down below. Like, if you think John Cena, early 2000s John Cena, could have made it to the independent scene and be as big as a star. What did I just say? If John Cena in the early 2000s, if he would have had to be an independent wrestler, could he have been as big of a star as he is now, going the AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan route? And what promotion do you think he would have worked for? And yeah, start leaving your Royal Rumble predictions down below. Everything's always linked down below. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Also down below are a couple of buttons you can press. There's a share button so your friends can get in on this conversation. There's a like button to let me know that you enjoyed this video and show your support. There's also a subscribe button down there as well. Hit that, and then there'll be a little bell that pops up, and you hit that to make sure you're notified whenever I post a new video. I'm getting back into the groove of things. I'm going to be recording more daily, so daily uploads are going to be returning. More stuff on the horizon other than wrestling discussion and Dokkan battle. With all that being said, I am Shawn DaGamer. I'm so confused right now. I don't know why. Because I am